In less than 1 month, three separate gunfire incidents have rattled areas linked to US President Donald Trump, triggering serious concerns over security around the White House and key presidential events. The latest scare unfolded on Saturday evening when a man opened fire near a White House security checkpoint in Washington, D.C. According to the U.S. Secret Service, the suspect pulled out a weapon near 17th Street and Pennsylvania Avenue and began firing. Officials immediately returned fire, killing the suspect. The gunman has been identified as 21-year-old Nasire Best, a man who was already known to law enforcement. Court records show that Best had previously tried to enter a White House checkpoint in 2025, ignored officers' commands, and allegedly claimed he was Jesus Christ. A stay-away order had also reportedly been issued against him. US President Trump was inside the White House during Saturday's shooting, but officials say he was not harmed and security operations were not impacted. The incident sparked panic inside the White House press area, with journalists reporting multiple gunshots and being rushed into secure briefing rooms. But this is not an isolated case. On the 25th of April this year, a major security scare unfolded during the White House Correspondents' Association dinner in Washington. Investigators say 31-year-old Cole Thomas Allen, armed with guns and knives, stormed through a security checkpoint at the Washington Hilton Hotel, but Trump was attending the high-profile event. Authorities allege that Allen fired a shotgun at a Secret Service officer before being stopped. The suspect has now pleaded not guilty to charges including attempted assassination of the president. Investigators claim Allen had planned the attack for weeks, reserved a room at the hotel in advance, and even described himself in messages as a friendly federal assassin. Then came another shooting on the 5th of May. A Texas man identified as Michael Marks allegedly opened fire near the Washington Monument along with the route of U.S. Vice President J.D. Vance's motorcade. Officials say Marks fired while fleeing from Secret Service officers, injuring a bystander before being shot by agents. Investigators later claimed the suspect shouted anti-White House remarks while being taken to the hospital. Three gunfire incidents, all within weeks, all in areas connected to the U.S. president and top leadership of the U.S. The repeated breaches are now putting intense pressure on the Secret Service and federal agencies as questions grow over the scale of threats surrounding America's political leadership. Major General S.B.S. Thana, defense and strategic expert, now joins us on the broadcast. Major General S.B.S. Thana, thank you so much for taking time out to be with us. This doesn't happen this often in the U.S. I mean, it's a country where you've seen former presidents getting assassinated, but what's been happening with the Trump administration, especially the Trump 2.0, ever since it came to power, even before Trump came to power, right through his election campaign as well, something seems to have changed dramatically for the worse.
Certainly, there is no doubt that there have been far too many incidents in locations where Trump was, and allegedly his assassination attempts too. But if you see at the end of the day, when we found, or so far, Americans have not been able to put out a convincing reply, or shall I say, a situation or an explanation as to what the motive was, except in second case, which was there in his golf course. At the person, he did not fire, but he was caught there. In his case, the motive was established, wherein he was pro-Ukraine and he was against Trump, and therefore he genuinely wanted to assassinate Trump, and has been convicted and put in jail. That's the only incident where perhaps some motive has come out. In all other cases, motive has not come out, but notwithstanding that, it's a security breach in many cases, including the hotel. Also, if we have to look at why Trump and why this is happening, there can be two logical explanations to this. One is certainly Trump is under threat. Let's have no doubts about it. He has assassinated the supreme leader of Iran. and Iran has, by uh, as a I would say awkward precedence, has put up a bill in the parliament to say that they want Trump to be assassinated, and they are putting aside some money for that. Trump and Netanyahu. Now that's one case. The second issue is that yes, is he under threat? The answer is yes, he is under threat. The third issue is that in the first case, that is in case when he was shot at during elections, he was trailing behind Kamala Harris, and his ratings jumped the moment the action happened. Now again, he's trailing as far as his these ratings are concerned, and therefore one cannot rule out false flag operations also in Trump's case, because in politics anything is possible. So some kind of dramatics also is possible. Now, looking at the site, I have been and I've stayed in 17th Street, and I have also been in that area where this incident has taken place. Uh, the access to that area is everybody can go there, and there are a whole lot of protesters who normally gang up there just in front of White House. But the only and with the gun laws which they have, people can carry guns also there. So that is the kind of situation where they are. But notwithstanding that, White House is perfectly secure, and there is no way that somebody can get Trump in White House. There's no way, and that too with a small arm, the way whatever he was carrying. So that is too being too under equipped to for an assassination of the American president. That may not be perhaps possible in this particular case. There is another angle to it. There is an internal disgruntlement in America, and this is coming out in various forms, whether it is King's protest, whether it is Black Lives Matters, whether it is in fact, the MAGA, I believe, has now converted into Make America Christian again. Now, basically, when I asked Americans as to why, how, when President Trump is changing statement on daily basis and telling lies on daily basis, how do you believe this guy? Now, most of the people say that perhaps he is the symbol of the Christian domination of the entire world. So there is a segment. Now, this particular person whose picture are you showing may could well be angry with the Christian domination too. And I am given to understand that Trump keeps talking about sending. He has said that I will accept everybody, all white Christians from South Africa, in case they are persecuted there or something like that. So there are internal fissures in America. There is internal disgruntlement in America in many forms. And one major form is that there are people who are not getting their bread and energy in reasonable prices. And you have a president who is accepting all gifts, and his worth from 2.5 billion has jumped to 7.5 billion in 1.5 years. So obviously there are people who are angry with that as well. But notwithstanding this, these are all perhaps conjunctures. We will only know with detailed investigations. Till then, it will only be an speculations. I've only just brought out various facets in which Trump is operating as of today.
Fair enough. The only question here at this stage is, um, Major Lesbi Astana, do you think something needs to change from within when it comes to the American Secret Service and their own, security arrangements?
Certainly, I think they need to tighten up their security, number one. Number two, there is something which perhaps the politicians in America are too scared of touching, and that is the gun laws. The gun laws certainly need some kind of amendment. The number of killings which they are getting in America because of gun violence is more than any other country getting the number of kills because of terrorism or any other form of violence. So I think there is something, some structural deficiency in so-called free world of America. But politicians are too scared of touching that because the gun lobby funds Republicans as well as Democrats, and therefore doesn't let any law get passed against them.
All right, Major General SB Astana. The other question is that how much of what is going on is going to show as far as the midterm polls are concerned in the U.S. I mean, all focus is on that at this stage, isn't it?
See, if President Trump is thinking that he'll get sympathy out of such incidents, I don't think he is going to get sympathy once it is okay, which happened during the election, but not every time. The same playbook cannot be played every time. The second issue is his ratings are down because of whatever he has done. See, Iran did not pose a threat to America. It did pose a threat to Israel, but it did not pose a threat to America. It was an unwanted war, unrequired war, which he has gone into and he doesn't know how to get out of it. And the implications of that war are certainly impacting everybody. Therefore, I don't think uh, Trump will be able to mend this part, although he will try his best. And that is why he's somehow trying to get something more than JCPOA plus in this particular bargaining with Iran. Because if he just gets what Obama got during the JCPOA, then he's certain to lose the midterm election.
In fact, you see the number of incidences which have gone up over the last couple of months. April and May alone, I've seen 3 different incidents. That is a clear sign that this war is impacting, the entire polarization, further polarization of the American polity, so to speak, isn't it?
Certainly, the America today is more divided than what it ever was. In fact, if we speak to, I keep speaking to many American friends. As of today, certainly they are fairly divided. Even amongst the MAGA base, they are divided. The lobby which is supporting Trump is the lobby which I just mentioned. The lobby which believes that he is the symbol of Christian domination. Other than that, all logical people understand that he is telling lie on on daily basis, and uh, certainly his policies, especially his handling of Iran war, has certainly not worked, and even the tariff has not worked. And because of tariff, if anybody has suffered maximum, it is the American people and not others.
Fair enough. We will leave it at that. But one last thing before I let you go, what do you see as the immediate impact, from White House Correspondents' Dinner to this? This is a situation that is going out of control. Do you expect any kind of a dramatic move immediately?
If there was a lapse, I think somebody will get sacked. That will be the only thing. I don't think they will come out with a statement as to what the motive was. The man is already dead, and if it was a false flag operation, you will hear nothing. That's the way the American society is. Because as I mentioned, in all firing cases, there was only one case where the motive was established. All other cases are still under dark.